So I am about 5 minutes outside of Picton in New South Wales, and this afternoon I'm going to check out an abandoned bridge. It's actually a railway bridge, so it's the abandoned Maldon to Dombarton Bridge, also known as the Bridge to Nowhwere. So technically just outside of Picton is Nowhwere, and it is an unfinished bridge. It's about 6:30 on Monday afternoon, so I'm not expecting it to be too busy or find too many people down here. Just kind of wiping this time. We're coming up to a gate. So we'll turn around and try and find another way in here. So we're actually on the side of the freeway, just near the Hume motorway sign, and as you can see to the side, that's where we need to get to. So I'm going to try and park a little bit closer and set off from there. So we park the car on the side of the freeway and making our way to the main road. So the original way, or the old way, you used to be able to access this bridge was basically following the dirt track around and parking at the gate and then walking the remainder. On that side, looks like they're building a new housing estate, so there's a lot of fencing, there's some security cameras, things like that. So I've actually had to park on the side of the freeway further down and find basically a bit of a passage through the middle of it all. And there's actually a lot of cattle in here as well, so not an ideal start, but I'll keep walking and see how far I can get. So I don't know if these are cows or bulls, cows with horns. It's a bit hard to tell at this distance. I'm about to find out. Just keep following this road down a bit. Try and be careful. I don't think it's meant to be too far. It's about a kilometre or something down this road. So I'm probably about halfway down. Literally taking the long way around. Just try to steer clear of all these cattle. And what I think is a bull. It's got horns, big horns. Probably a bull. It's probably a better shot here. In the distance you can see the bridge. Absolutely massive. It's like a freeway bridge. And what we're walking down now is what would have been the railway track, most likely. The Maldon to Dombarton railway line. Got some goats. They're about to jump just in the road in front of us here. They're actually chilling out with some kangaroos as well. And this big boy here, who's just seen me. So there he goes. I actually think that one might be a wallaby, just a large rock wallaby or something. It's pretty dark. It's actually black. You can see him. There he goes. It's not really a grey or a red. You can actually hear all the goats. In that corner, that's where they all are. Out of my way, please. These guys are everywhere. These ones are basically tame. You can see them all down here. So this is it. Hundreds of goats down here. Sun's setting. It's a bridge to nowhere. No signage on this section. There was the biggest bloody eagle. I don't know if you can see him flying off here. Massive. Gonna have fun with the drone up here. Construction began on this section and this bridge, I believe, in 1983, and then with the changing of government in 1988, it was put on hold and construction halted. So the bridge actually doesn't reach the other side, hence the name Bridge to Nowhere. And they've done studies in terms of how much it'd cost to finish it. I think it's like $700 million in today's money. It's just not feasible. So this bridge and what's already been done, I think adds up to about $30 million, but this has got to be at least 15, 20 million. I'll give you a look over the edge. You can see on the other side, just here, that's where they started building it on the other end. Never finished it. Pretty cool looking gorge down there as well. Down the river. And I have to double check, I think it's either the Nepean River or Wallandilly River. I'll post in the description. Awesome spot. Great spot for a sunset. So pretty stoked I've made it. And that's Picton Road in the distance there. That was the Bridge to Nowhere. Sunset. It's pretty cool. Quiet, there's no one else here. Apart from about 100 goats and 30 head of cattle. I'm going to try and get out of here, back to the car, because it's a little bit tricky navigating the cows and bulls and along grass and thorns. I might try and get a quick glimpse of underneath the bridge just before I take off. So this one's been on the list for a while to check out, and a few people actually cut through the bush from Picton Road and come this way. Probably a bit easier. I mean, the grass is pretty short and it's not really bush or scrub, or just like a few trees, so probably not a bad idea. You used to be able to come in past the skydive centre, and that's at the start of the video where I drove in, came to basically a gate, a security gate for housing development, and had to turn around. And I wasn't going to go home without getting a good look at this, having come all this way and researched it for so long. And be careful when you step over the joints, because they go straight down. You can see the ground down there, and it gets worse the further you go along. So be a bit careful. It's my foot for reference, so you definitely get lost in there. So just beside it is basically a dirt road or tyre tracks. So I'm just going to follow these down, see where it takes me. Maybe get a good look underneath the bridge. There's a few tracks that keep going down here towards the river on the water. Pretty high up, it's going to be 20 metres, 25 metres at least under the bridge. So definitely cool to see. The video is probably not going to do it justice in terms of how big it is and that kind of thing. So I've probably got about a half an hour walk back to the car. It's all flat, there's no problems with that. It's just the animals in here, so too many goats, too many heads of cattle in here as well. Some of the biggest kangaroos I've seen in probably a long time. A few big greys, and a few wallabies and some darker black kangaroos as well. So if you do come in here, be careful. Be careful for snakes as well. There's a lot of long grass in here. I haven't seen any today, and that's probably the main reason I do these walks late afternoon and then battle the sunlight. You might be able to hear behind me as well. That's the main railway line that goes through Campbelltown to Picton and down to Mittagong Way as well in the distance. So this track would have actually linked up, and it was actually quite close to, you know, joining up and being connected. So quite odd that they stopped working on it. So this is actually probably going to be the last video I record this year in 2024 as a break for Christmas. And then I've got 2 trips that I've planned in my head and done a bit of research on, which hopefully I can get out of the way in the first week of January and do 1 or 2 in a row. So keep an eye out for those as well. And I'm pretty sure these are cows, even though they've got some pretty big horns on them, but I'd rather not find out. So that was a bit close, too close for comfort. All the cows and the bulls basically started running after me, trying to follow me along the fence line, which I'm sure they're just after food or a bit curious in terms of what I'm doing here. But in saying that, I don't really want to stick around to find out how friendly those big cows or bulls are. Bloody fox. I've had to walk on the other side of the fence, which isn't ideal, because these guys are following me, which I don't want to be followed by. I don't want to be followed by all these cows. It's one of the fences. I'll give you a look at it. So this section, all the wire's gone. You can just kind of scoot under, or if you want, you can climb over. That's one of two. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but up along there you can see the trucks going past. So that's the M5, M31 down to Melbourne. That's Sydney skydiving in there. And we're going to cut back into the railway section. It's a bit more hidden for the last piece. And this section here, this is actually all earthworked and levelled out. So I don't know if you pick it really up on the camera, but this is all carved out, basically a flat line, and this would have been a big part of the Maldon to Dombarton railway line. And the sides on here, probably about 2 meters, 2 to 3 meters in some sections. And this is actually the old sign. I don't know if you can pick that up. Site of the Maldon to Dombarton Freight Rail-link Corridor. Transport for New South Wales. See how old that is, because this tree's growing up in front of it. The new state of business, apparently. And there could actually be another sign up here at the end that I've missed on the way in, so we'll have a look at that if that's what that is. And the timing, absolutely perfect. Still plenty of daylight. I think it's probably close to 8 o'clock, nearly 8:30. So I'll get back to the car before it gets dark. I've got another fence to jump as well. And this is all going to be probably houses in the next 12 to 18 months. So if you're going to do this, now is probably a great time to do it. And I've parked literally just on the side of the freeway. This is a bit of a look at the fence. You got to jump onto these posted fences and then head up past the sign. Definitely not my favourite place to be working in. Maybe do it quick. And surprisingly enough, the car is still here. So to get to this spot, you're literally at the emergency telephone booth, parked on the side of the freeway, and then you just go into the field to the left hand side.